And I'd do this. Bringing sexy back. Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. It felt right.
When? Just now it felt right?
I know.
Oh no. Did you hope I would continue with
I
you?
was hoping like it would go somewhere.
It didn't.
It didn't. It came
died
to a
right
screeching
there.
halt.
I'm shocked you waited till I pressed record to do that. You wanted it to live
started.
forever?
We have started.
Okay,
Okay, well,
this is where
welcome to Mama Bear, episode 5.
With wisdom and warmth, let's light the way. Together we'll laugh, together we'll share. In this cozy space, it's love and care.
Episode 5.
Yay, we've done 5 episodes.
I know, that's wild.
I'm proud
Actually,
of us.
I think we've done
No, much more.
more.
Possibly
Some
2
of them
more.
have not made it.
No,
because
that's okay.
of our technical skills.
Yeah, well,
That's okay.
cheers,
Cheers to 5 episodes.
halfway to 10.
Milestone.
That's right.
Hi, welcome back. We have a nice little chit chat podcast today. We were going to talk about some baby-led weaning.
Yes, very topical right now.
Yeah, because it's something that Brie is currently experiencing.
Yes.
But before we get into that, how are you? How was your weekend?
Great. I had a really nice weekend, actually. You know, we just got back from Florida last week and had a month worth of our life to unpack and reorganize. Plus, Everest has grown out of his old toys and old clothes that switched from like 0 to 3/4. Now he's 5, almost 6 months. So now the toys are different, the clothes are different. We vacuum sealed the bags of toys, clothes away and packed the toys away, and like his old bassinet and all these things are just getting stored away for baby number 2 one day.
I was like, is this an announcement?
No. So plus we had people watch our house for the month. So with deep cleaning everything, organizing everything, decluttering everything. So that felt, it's like a winter. Erryn's daughter's in the room. So again, the true mama bear.
Yeah.
No, so we're just like a winter cleaning, if you will.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we just stayed home all weekend and then finally hosted like a small Super Bowl party, which is our first time having guests over after putting Everest to bed, which was awesome.
Party.
Yeah, it was nice. We were able to still do bedtime routine and juggle both, and then we were worried about like noise. Will he wake up? And he did just fine. Didn't stir once. So
I know for my kids, I
Yeah.
find the daytime sleep does get interrupted by noise.
Yeah.
But the nighttime sleep, once they're asleep
It's
at
like a
night,
rock.
they are asleep.
it's great.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
laid him down awake. First of all, this is another thing I want to talk about. I stopped swaddling. This is kind of, did I already mention this?
No, you mentioned it to me briefly,
Oh,
but I
yeah.
don't think we actually like went into detail about it.
This is a really big deal in my
Because
life.
this was a milestone for you.
It's like, I don't want to say embarrassing, but I felt like a little bit of mom shame or guilt in the fact that like everyone stopped swallowing their babies. I saw someone at 6 weeks stop swallowing their baby, and you know, I guess everyone has their different milestones with it. And I need to preface, Everest was not like swaddled like an infant. He had an arms up swaddle, so like a little sleep
Yeah.
sack where his arms are held up. But he was still startle reflexing. Like even when we had a doctor's checkup, they're like, whoa, he still has a strong startle reflex.
And I also find if he's still sleeping well in that type of position, why change it?
Why change
Because
it?
right, like you don't want to.
I did feel pressure to change it though. That's why.
You will feel pressure to do a lot of things for the rest
Yeah.
of your life.
And I guess it's no one applied that pressure to me, but I like
You apply it to yourself.
Yeah, you see other people doing it.
It's
and-
indirect.
right.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, we've never been able to lay Everest down awake for a nap, and that's a big part of it because he would startle himself on like the transfer. We'd lay him down and he'd startle
Right.
as he's falling asleep. So we just kept swaddling him. Naps were going great, and he's always been a great sleeper. But over the past like month, once a week, I've tried to take the swaddle off, and it hasn't gone super well. And now when we got back, he was 5 months. I was like, you know what, we're doing it. And he fussed for 10, 15 minutes for his first nap and then put himself finally to bed. And he's kind of hit or miss. I'd say like 3/4 of his naps are successful in the fact that he'll be able to put himself asleep. But the other quarter, we still struggle through. So we're getting there. Yeah.
Honestly, I can't even remember when you told me that you were a little bit felt a little
Yeah.
bit of shame that you had swaddled so long. I can't even remember when I stopped
Right.
swaddling. Like, I think
Yeah.
that I filed that back in the back of my brain with things that
Yeah.
I'll never bring up again.
Yeah.
And I don't like because I didn't think
It
that
just
you had
doesn't
swaddled him
matter,
for a
yeah.
long time because I just I
It
don't know.
didn't
I don't know
clue
what the
yeah.
typical
Yeah.
swaddling time is.
I did. Okay, I do want to ask you about your weekend too. Sorry.
Okay.
We're going down
No, I know we do
a
this.
rabbit
We
hole.
do this.
Yeah.
So you had your Super Bowl party. It went
Yes,
well.
it went well. Yeah, it went great. Everest slept great. Party went great. How did you feel about the Super Bowl though?
Okay. Did not watch, I don't think, a
No,
single
you didn't.
minute of it.
Yeah.
So we
Good.
we did also go to a Super Bowl party. We go to
Yeah.
my mother-in-law's every single year
Yeah.
for the last, I don't know how long I've been, 11 years I've been with my husband. They've had the Super Bowl party. And it obviously, just like all of our other parties, are just like wild with kids now.
Yeah.
So I find with the other mothers, kind of hover around the children.
Yes, of
Well,
course.
all of the guys will watch the
Watch the
Super Bowl.
party, yeah.
And that's honestly, if I wanted to watch the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
I absolutely could.
Yeah. It's a choice.
Yes. Like, it's not like he's saying you have to go watch the kids and I'm going to watch football. I almost called it hockey. So there we are. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Right. So I go for the food. The food
Absolutely.
was amazing. We always do a potluck, and my mother-in-law always gets a big giant sub from Subway.
Yeah.
Like the party platters, and I ate way too much and had a great time. We also did. I'm sorry, my child is kicking me, so I'm just gonna.
No one has a better time doing this than your daughter.
Yeah. I did crafts with the kids.
Oh, nice.
So I sat down on the floor. They were watching Super Bowl, and we did like some Valentine's crafts.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that's what I did for Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And
did
we
you watch
left,
the halftime?
No, because we left because I did have my girls. I
Yeah.
didn't stay for the whole game. I had to take them home for bed.
Right.
So I left probably just before halftime started,
Oh, so
and
you
was
didn't even see
likely
it.
driving over halftime. And putting them to bed.
Your husband Walter, he stayed back.
He stayed. Yep,
Yeah.
he stayed, and my dad stayed, and a bunch of the guys stayed. I think I think I was the last wife to leave with the kids.
Okay.
So all of us had left prior.
Yeah.
So
gonna
that
have
was, what else did I do this weekend? We didn't do a whole lot, I don't think. Saturday we just had kind of a relaxing day, which was nice. We
Yeah.
did some grocery shopping and just kind of hung out at home. My Emerson's stomach has been like hurting her off and on. So we just kind of had a relaxing day. But today she woke up and she was raring to go. So
Aww.
she seems to be all
Does she
better.
likes going to school?
She really does like school. Yeah, she was handing out her birthday party invitations today.
no.
So she was
First
really excited.
time.
Yeah, she insisted on having a
Wait,
friend's birthday.
How do you decide who to give them to? Her whole
She
class?
decides. No, so gosh, no, I'm not having 23 kids in my home.
So she had to know. She had to come home and say the specific names. I want A, B,
Yeah,
C
and
to
she
come to
knew,
the party.
and,
then, wow.
I would like
Why
ask
do I feel
her,
like that's too old?
I know. I would ask her, like, do you want this person? Do you want this person? Because I know the other kids in her class, just to make sure she wasn't forgetting anyone that she
Yeah.
wanted. And I don't want any of the other kids to feel left out.
That's what I'm saying.
So what I did was I put them all in an envelope, and I gave them to her teacher to put in the kids' backpacks so that the other kids are unaware
Okay.
that they're not being
That's
invited.
good.
Because I
That
don't
was
want,
nice.
yeah, I don't want anyone feel they're left
Feel
out.
left out.
But so she wants to have a Moana themed birthday. Like she had all of this set. Like we've never had a friend's birthday before. This
And
is
she
her
already
first year
knows
of
all
school.
of-
Yeah, she's like, I
Wow.
want it
You've
to be
got-
Moana
this is-
themed. I'm like, okay.
This is not boding well for you long term.
Right. I was hoping I could at least hold off 1 or 2 more years of no like school friend's birthday because usually we just do family, which is
Yeah.
great. Nope, that didn't happen. So
Oh,
here we are.
no.
And she's invited like 10 kids. Mind you, like I doubt all of them will be able to come, but like
Yeah.
that's a lot
It's a
of
big
children
party
in my home.
Well, because
So
you have to think a kid brings their parent, obviously.
yeah,
Like,
well, so that was the thing too, right? So some of them, like on the invitation, so what I did was I made these Moana invitations. Like I made them up myself. I just printed them on regular paper, and then I had her color them so that she could like be
Aw, that's
involved
really
in the
fun.
making process. So she colored them all to hand out to her friends. She picked her friends, whatever. And on the invitation, I put parents can stay or drop off.
Okay.
So whatever they're comfortable with, because I
Right.
know for myself, I don't know any of these parents.
Right.
So I'm not leaving my kid with you.
No, absolutely.
Right?
I
Like-
would come.
Right. So,
Yeah.
and she's been to 2 birthday parties and I've attended both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, these ones were at like, one of them was in a backyard. It was in the summer, which was great. I really didn't think of when I was having kids.
Yeah.
Have them in the warmer months so you can have
Yes.
birthdays outside.
Oh, good. Okay, we're good for that.
Yes, you're good for that.
Labor Day weekend will be great.
Seriously. Like have them in the warmer months. But
Oh, yeah, that we don't have a bunch of people you don't know in your home.
right. So now the other one we had was at a like trampoline park, so it was great. We went there and they didn't have to host anybody. But I'm doing mine at my house.
Yeah.
So I may have a bunch of parents. That was my biggest. I don't want to have to host like a whole bunch of parents and people that I don't know, but that just may be the case, which is fine. I guess then I'll know them after that.
And then with time, like you'll start to know the same kids and their parents, and hopefully you develop a friendship or at least a relationship.
And the 2 birthday parties that we've been to, I do know those ones. So
nice.
And then I got this idea from one of Walter's cousins. She does the friend's birthday and the family birthday in the same day. So she just bangs them both out.
Ooh, knock it out.
That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do her friends from 1 to 3. And that way it's kind of like I've put on the invitation, like we're not serving a meal.
Right.
We're just doing cake and some snacks and some games.
Yep.
And then at 4 o'clock, I'll have family come over and we'll do like dinner.
Like a barbecue dinner or something.
So wish me luck.
Oh, wait. Wait, where are you doing? Did you say, are you doing it in the backyard or
no?
It's going to be in your house?
In my house. Yeah, it's way too cold.
Oh,
it's going to be
boy.
inside. Yeah, inside my home.
I didn't even think that through. Of course.
And then also, I've now asked my husband to sand and stain our hardwood floors. So I asked him this morning. I'm like, I realized like because her birthday, we're doing it in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I realized I've put a lot on the table here at once.
You said, listen, we are having people over in a serious way, people we don't know in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Today I'm asking you fix the floors, figure it out.
Yeah, and I'm like, you have to have this done.
I know you have a job you go to and work
every day.
But also,
however, this is more important. So.
In all of your spare time now, please sand and stain.
The best part is I'm going away this weekend for a baby shower to the States, and I'm like, please have this done. Goodbye.
Wait, I was sitting here at first like, oh, it sucked that you were watching the kids. He's watching the game.
Oh, no.
You went back. No, he is now sanding and staining the floor. You've given him 2 weeks. You are leaving for one of those weekends. Are you taking the girls with you?
Nope.
You're not?
I'm hoping so. I don't want them in the house when this is happening because there will be a wild amount of dust flying around. Yeah. So I actually haven't asked my mom yet, but I'm hoping she's going to take
Jen,
them.
if you're listening.
Yeah. Can you watch my kids?
Grandma. That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's where we're at.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait for the update on all this.
I always have big dreams going on in my head via
you always have a task.
Renovations in my home. And so my husband takes this as I don't like our house. Like I absolutely love our house.
And it's like a sprawling ranch. Is that what it's called? Like
it's a ranch, a ranch house. Yeah.
So that's a lot of floor.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's not all of the floor though, because there's only the living room, dining room, and kitchen. Because the rest of the floor is brand new.
Oh.
So it's only where the hardwood is.
Okay.
So it's just a couple rooms. Yeah. It's still a lot. It's still quite a bit.
It's a big job.
He is determined that he can get it done in a day. So I will keep you updated on that. My dad will be helping him because I also enlisted my dad.
Yeah, that help will help.
He was voluntold that he is helping.
Oh,
so
no.
My dad's one of those guys that
he gets it done though.
Yeah, and he just kind of like knows how to do stuff, and if he doesn't, he just figures it out. And it may not be the correct way, but he's gonna get it done. It gets done. Yeah.
AKA the old deck.
Yes, exactly. So, anyways, that's where we're at.
Yeah. All right. Well, I can't wait to get the update on that.
Yes,
that's
I'll let you know.
Going on in the last 2 weeks.
How it goes.
Wow.
I mean, potentially it could be done by next time we podcast because that is what he tells me. So
I love that. Well, I'm excited just to see it too.
Yeah, me too.
I can't even picture them.
Like
you were saying they were orangey.
My hardwood floors.
We're gonna have to post a before and after.
Yeah, I will. I'll take a picture. My hardwood floors have like almost an orangey reddy. They're like the old style color tint to them, and I don't love it.
It's done.
And it's just been we've lived in this house for 5 years, and I look at them with hate every day.
That's so funny. Something probably no one else would notice.
I know.
Like you were saying with my swaddling story, like I would not have thought anything of it.
Right.
And I come to your house and don't notice your floors at all.
Right. And I've spent 2 maternity leaves, and then also I had a sick leave for a little bit of like 6 months. So I've just spent a lot of time in my house, and I feel
staring at the
and I
floors.
just like see things, and I'm just like, then I stew about it.
This will get done.
Like we need to change this.
That's amazing.
Well, okay. So should we get into our topic for today?
Baby-led weaning.
Baby-led weaning.
This is like the scariest. I've told you this several times. The scariest phase of parenting for me, and like not just because it's the phase we're coming up to, but well pregnant, I was nervous about like the day I'd have to feed my child
And
food.
it's so funny because I feel like that's a very common reaction. And for whatever reason, I have never had stress about this.
Yeah, I don't
This
know.
is never something, and
Maybe because you are CPR choking trained.
maybe, I don't know, but even like other nurses that I know, like they've been nervous about feeding their kids, and it's just never something that has caused me stress. Maybe it should.
I maybe
Maybe it should.
yeah. I don't
There
know.
is one food that still to this day, and my oldest daughter is almost 5, still causes me stress, and I don't know why, but it's grapes.
Oh,
I still like to cut their grapes. My oldest daughter, I won't if she's at home, because I'm there. But
when
if
you-
she's taking them
yeah,
to school, I
you'll
cut
cut
them
'em.
because
Yeah.
they are just exactly
Maybe
the
I'll
size with their
just-
tiny little airways.
I'll just skip grapes. I
Yeah,
think.
just skip grapes. Like the outside skin is tough and they're round. They really stress me out. But other than that, Everest, you're never eating grapes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I've
You might
ruined
never
that for you.
grapes, raisins, wine. It's all at the table.
But every other food, I have never been stressed about.
Yeah. So for me, like, so I exclusively breastfeed. So he's never even had a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's never had a pacifier. Nothing has gone in that mouth but me.
Right.
So I feel very in control of it. It's also like not just a fear thing. It's like a preparation thing. Like, we can leave the house. I don't need to sanitize, prepare bottles. I don't need to warm anything up. He just latches on and we
Yes.
go. And it's been that way for 5.5 months and it's going great. I have no intention to ever introduce a bottle ever, like at all. He'll go to a cup when he's done breastfeeding. And it's not that I have anything against a bottle. I always think like, what did the cavemen do? Is that weird?
Yeah, a
Like,
little bit because we live in 2025. But
yeah, but I just think like, what's the natural
I
way?
understand what you're saying.
And maybe like
I
this
get
is
what
like
you
holds
mean.
me back in some ways, but I always think like, what was the human body intended to do? Like, you were intended to eat from your mother, right? And then you would move right to food.
I think
like,
the thing with the
there
bottle
were no bottles
is
before.
it just offers like mothers
help and support.
help
Sure.
and support. Yeah,
Because
because
I have nothing against the bottle, but for me, it doesn't make sense in my life. Like,
because you don't. I mean, you could
I don't go
potentially
anywhere?
go places, but you don't go anywhere. Yeah. At this point, I mean, he
at
is
this
only
point, he's
4
always
months.
with
Yeah.
me. And now that he's getting older and his feedings are stretched out, we're looking forward to like utilizing like grandparents for babysitting and different things. We haven't yet, and we've left. I think in Florida we left once we put him down for the night.
Yeah, you went for your anniversary
So,
drinks.
but he wasn't due to be fed for 10 hours, so it was fine. But no, I won't do the bottle, and hopefully can get all the way through to over 1 without a bottle. And like I said, we can just go straight to the sippy cups.
Yep.
Or cups in general.
I will be honest, I didn't really use bottles myself. Only
Yeah.
like there was a couple times I did use them. I had your engagement party and my daughter was still only 4 months old.
Very
Was
small.
she 4 months? Actually, she was 2 months. She was only 2 months old when I came to your engagement party. So I did pump a couple
look
bottles
great.
for that. Thank you. Did not feel amazing, but that's okay.
So funny. We always say this, but it's so funny. Like, to you, that was a significant thing in your life.
So it was 2 months postpartum.
And to me, I was like, that wouldn't have dawned on me that this was like a big outing for you to do.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yes, no, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
And now I'm like, I'm still 5 months. I'm like, I am leaving the house.
Yeah.
Everyone applaud.
Yeah, right. Right. So I think I used bottles then, but other than that, I also for me, I actually really disliked pumping. It was exhausting to do. I didn't love doing it. So if I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Right.
So I did a lot of breastfeeding too, but I did use bottles a couple
I
times.
will say, okay, I know we're supposed to talk about baby-led weaning, but this is all part of it. Like, I'll say the pumping for me, I didn't know when I was going into this whole journey, like parenting, your eyes get open so much once the baby's here and you start to realize like what life looks like. I wasn't certain how everything would go. I would always say like, oh, I'd like to breastfeed, because you always hear women, that say, oh, I couldn't, or, whatever. I just wasn't sure. So I got a pump, like a nice expensive pump, never used it.
Yeah.
Never used it. And hopefully if the plan gets to go my way, I won't ever have to use it.
Right.
But it's sitting there in that drawer
Right.
ready
If
to
you
go.
need it,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
I have taken my a lactation counseling course.
Yes.
So I've done lots with lactation counseling, and I've helped some women that, I mean, to me, we can talk about breastfeeding another time. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
we
a
should.
totally different topic. But the benefits in breastfeeding are just astronomical. Like
I didn't know about
for
this.
you, like for mother and for baby, like there's so many benefits to breastfeeding and breast milk.
I don't think a lot of people, we will have to make this a full
Yeah.
soul topic. So let's come back to
Yeah.
it. But it is eye-opening as someone who is not trained
Yes.
in this and just parenting. Wow.
But so circling back to
Circling back.
baby-led weaning, I would like to preface this by saying neither of us are experts, and this
At
is
all.
solely based on our own experiences.
Yeah, and my experience
just chatting
is
about
zero.
how that went for us, right?
Yeah.
So
you've done it. Let
I
me
have done
preface
it,
with
yeah.
So Everest is 5.5 months. The baby-led weaning idea is that you need to hit 3 markers before you start. They need to be able to sit up on their own unassisted, have had good head control, neck control. They need to be able, they should be 6 months, which that one's wild to me because that's the only one we're waiting for. And the third one being they show an interest in food.
Right.
So they grab and put things in their mouth. They're watching you eat. So Everest is doing that one. He can sit up on his own now. I didn't even tell you. Oh my gosh, he sits up on his own.
Oh, you'll have to show
Just
me
in
when
the
he wakes
last
up
2-3
before I
days.
leave. You'll
It's
have
so
to
cute.
show me.
Anyway, so he is ready. And so we did. He grabbed a banana out of my hand and shoved it right in his mouth and gnawed on it for a quick second. So we let him. The kid is ready to eat.
Yeah.
I feel like the 6-month thing is just holding him back. So
yeah, I mean,
2
I
more
think
weeks.
that's like give or take. I mean,
Yeah.
if he feels ready now, he
I'm
feels
waiting.
ready now. But
I'm so nervous.
yeah,
I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, wait the 2 weeks if you
Yeah.
want to. But I think that I started my first daughter at 6 months when she started like.
Is that because you were waiting for 6 months?
No,
or what?
I don't know why we waited till 6 months. I don't even know if she was exactly 6 months when we
Around
started, but it
there.
was just around there. Nora, I think, was 5 months when she
Little-
started because she's always
She
been
is
like a
a
go-getter.
rebellion, yeah.
Yeah. She thinks that's hilarious.
The funny thing is that wasn't even time. She
No,
can't
I
hear
know.
us.
She doesn't know. That's so funny. Anyways, I I think that Emmy's first food was banana.
Oh yeah.
And then we tried some avocado. The other thing about baby-led weaning is typically you don't do purees and like mashed
Right.
food. You give them pieces of what you're eating. Obviously, like with exceptions, right? Like you're not going to give them. They're not going to gnaw on a piece of steak at 6 months old. At like a huge piece of steak. Like you have to
Right.
cut it pretty tiny.
So maybe I need to do more research because so I'm in this baby-led weaning group. A girlfriend had reached out to me and she's kind of done everything the same way I have. And she said, hey, I don't know if you're interested, but down the road, whenever you get to 6 months, here's this group, this baby-led weaning Facebook group. And on there, they give them steak. I'm sure it's not the first thing they give them, but the point is at this age, I think to put them in long strips.
So that if it were to go down their throat that they could swallow it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that's like
Rather than small pieces, because we think of feeding a baby for the first time, you're like, oh, I should chop this up as finely as possible.
Right.
Opposite.
So any
you want
of
them to be able
the-
to grab it
any
and
of
gnaw.
the long pieces that I did, I would do really long. And I think it's for that reason. I mean, to me, that was
That's
if
a
it went
good
down
reason.
their throat, they
That-
would slip down instead of
Yeah.
clogging.
Yeah, I guess a bigger piece that is like almost like a spoon shape or right
Yeah.
that they could
And that was the other thing. You're
gnaw
supposed
on
to
it.
give them their own, like, don't spoon feed them. Let them
Yeah.
have their spoon. And it is going to be messy. It's going to be so messy. It's also super cute. Yeah, it's so cute. And then also I had these little cups, like baby cups that I would put the littlest, tiniest bit of water in just so they could get the feel of like using an open
Drinking.
cup.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and they would mostly play with them and it'd be all over them. Spaghetti's the best.
Spaghetti.
A spaghetti covered baby is probably the cutest thing in the world.
That stresses
like
me
I
out.
just love it. I would give them spaghetti and they would just like be absolutely just covered in spaghetti and it's just the cutest thing ever.
That's amazing.
And cutest thing ever, yeah. So yeah, so
No.
typically I think you start around 5-6 months. 6 months you said usually is the benchmark
Yeah.
of when they start to do feeding.
Yeah, and I'm terrified for it. We haven't done all of our so on this group there's like a document, like a Word doc, and it walks you through like the rules, if you will, of like baby-led weaning. And I'm sure you could just go for it and be just fine. But I do want to read through it, and only because I am so nervous to do it. Like I said, I've not been nervous for anything, and this has really stressed me out. So I'll probably read through it just to feel more confident. But yeah, I think you'll start with like you said, avocado, egg.
Yeah, oh, we did egg so much that my kids started hating egg.
Really?
Because that was just something that I knew they would eat for a long time because I mean my kids started out not picky at all. My youngest Nora, usually she will eat anything still. Emerson is a really picky eater. But when she was little, I knew they would eat egg.
Yeah.
And I gave it to them pretty well every single morning. They'd have scrambled egg. And then eventually they started being like, this is
No
enough
egg.
of this. Thank you so much.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they stopped eating it.
So were you strategic in like flavor profiles? My mom had mentioned like don't start with sweet things like sweet potato. Don't start with yummy things. Start with like the more bland things.
It's so funny because I don't
Or
think
no.
I think where you and I differ a lot as people is you're very research based. You are for everything. You like to do your research, it's great.
Yeah.
I think for me, I just like kind of like
Just go for it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
fly by the seat of my pants with stuff like
boy.
that. So like it was more whatever we were eating, I would give them little bits of that.
And I think that's the point of baby-led
Right.
weaning is, again, what would you have done as a caveman?
Right,
Or like back in the
exactly.
day, you would have given them what you were eating.
So Nora was how old would have Nora been? I don't know. I don't even know. She was like a few months after 6 months, maybe like 8 months or something. But we had like a turkey dinner, and I just like gave her turkey, potatoes, stuffing, corn,
and she just ate it with her hands.
and just like little like little portions. And
Yeah.
she just ate. I mean, I gave her a spoon. Most of it's eaten with her hands. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just give them what we're eating. With some exceptions, there were some things like I guess you could do steak. We don't really eat a lot of red meat at my house
To begin with.
But if we did do steak, I don't think I really gave them that until they were a bit older. The one thing I did do is I'd give them like butter chicken and stuff so that they like, and it was very mild.
Yeah.
But they didn't think
Yum.
things were too spicy.
Right.
However,
right.
And Emerson used to eat it all the time, and now all of a sudden she doesn't
She's
like it
backed
anymore.
off, yeah.
But
Yeah, you worry about those things, like not actively worry, but like you hear about these things of like my brother's kids are very picky.
yes.
They will only eat certain things, and you're like, well, how do I avoid that? Maybe I can't avoid it. Maybe it's just inevitable.
It's so funny because I tried so hard to avoid her being picky. Like I would give her so many things, and I wouldn't say she's like the pickiest child, and she will eat healthy food because it's super important to me that my kids are eating like a well-balanced
Like
diet.
a whole
That is
food
something like that does stress me out is
Yeah.
that I want to make sure they're eating a well-balanced diet.
Yeah.
I do let them have sweets and sugar here and there as well. Like I never withhold that from them. Especially like things like yesterday we're at Super Bowl. They're going to eat cookies. They ate
Right.
chocolate covered strawberries, like
Right.
those types of things.
Pause.
Yeah, I had something in my throat there. Yeah, so when we're at Super Bowl and stuff, like, and we're out and about, it's really less rules. But at home, like, and for like their lunches that I pack, I want them to be healthy food.
Yeah.
And she's good about that. But when I make dinners in the evening, we try to like eat different things. And
Yeah.
my rule is you have to try it before you can say you don't like it.
Right.
Because she will take one look at something and be like, I'm not eating
Well,
that.
you used to be that way. I used to say that all the time to you.
It's so fun. It's so
You're
funny.
like, at least try
I
it.
was, and it was only like a portion of my life.
Yeah.
Like it was probably like maybe when I moved out, maybe when I was like 19 to when I was like when I met my husband, I was 21. I was quite picky, and outside of that, like I just started eating food.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just had a few years where like the look of some food just really turned me off.
Like seafood,
or like
I
the
remember.
smell of it.
Yeah.
And I love seafood now. I'll
Like
eat pretty much anything now.
Yeah.
Like I will try anything.
Do you like sushi?
Love sushi. I eat a
good
ton
too.
of sushi. Would you like
Maybe
to go?
go for a sushi.
Are you asking me out?
Will you be my Valentine?
Yes.
Um,
It is almost Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, so I don't know if that's something you can avoid. Nora will eat pretty well anything
Except apple peels.
except apple peels. No, that's not true.
Not
if
true.
she has a whole apple, she will eat the apple peel. If it's cut up, won't eat the apple peel.
That's so funny.
And her biggest thing is she will eat anything as long as it's on my plate.
oh.
If I put those foods on her plate, doesn't want it. If I'm eating it, she
Actively.
immediately wants it.
So there's no way
And she will
around
eat
this.
like I'll be eating like a full like veggie wrap, and she will eat it.
Yeah.
Or Costco. If it
Oh,
comes
all
in a
the
tiny little
samplers?
sample, my kids ate kale salad the one day at
Stop
Costco.
it.
I'm
And they
like,
liked
if
it?
I ever dare buy this and brought it home,
No
not a
chance.
chance would you eat this.
What if you served it in the little cups?
Maybe, probably not. Probably not.
What if you set up stations around the house with the little cups? Like, let's go check out what's in the playroom.
That's actually a pretty fun idea. I might do that.
Like a little at-home
yeah,
Costco.
that would be fun.
I'm sure they had the little pretend shopping kits.
We have several shopping carts. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
No, that would be fun. That's
so
a pretty
fun.
good idea.
Viral, make it viral.
Right. Little tiny Costco.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I forget where I was going.
Yeah, we were talking about like how to develop like the flavor profile for your kids, but it's like some things like that are just so far for me too.
Yeah.
And you don't really think when you're introducing things like food, you're not thinking of the long game at like 3 or 4. Like, will they like all foods? Like right now, I'm just thinking, please don't choke.
Right.
Like how am I going to deal with the mess? That's on my mind. I'm like, do I get the big bibs that they wear around, and like, they wear a full suit to eat.
Right.
And then there's those mats that go around the high chair to catch everything before it hits the ground.
Right.
Or do I just buy a mat on the ground? Or do I buy no mat?
Honestly, the way I went about it was I just deal with
Just
it
did
when
it.
it's done.
And
So like
that-
they ate, they got
that
food
is
in their
funny.
hair, and then they bathed, and then I cleaned up.
You
And
bathed after meals?
not after every meal, but if it was like a
big
messy
ones.
enough meat, like spaghetti, 100%, they were orange from head to toe. So yeah, they would take a quick bath or like a wipe down.
So this is
I like
where
to
we're
do
different
sink
too.
baths.
Okay. Well, also once they're sitting up, it's a little
Yes.
easier. Like he's only just getting that point now, so maybe we could transition. But you were like a clean freak.
Oh, yeah, I like everything to be tidy at
Like,
least.
I feel like your
I don't
life-
like clutter.
You slow down your life enough so that you can have time to clean things. I feel like that's very important to you.
Yeah, I
No?
don't think that I have the time to do it. I think I just squeeze it in where I can.
Yes.
Like what I do
You
is
make it work somehow. Your
I
house is
try
always
to I try to clean things as they happen.
yeah.
So like I don't leave anything too long, because if I leave it, then it just becomes
It's
this
not gonna
big
get done.
giant mess.
So that's where I'm stressed, is sometimes I will, like right after a meal, I'll go bathe Everest, then I'll put him down, then we'll come and clean up. And if we don't happen to clean up right away, we'll get it in the morning.
But that's fine too. I feel like living in the way I live is like I need to slow down a bit.
But my fear is, yes,
Yes,
you do.
like I need to do the other things, prioritize the other things over the tidying.
But I feel like there's a happy middle ground,
Yes,
because
there's one somewhere.
like my fear is I'm going to feed him in the high chair, there's going to be a mess. And like maybe at first I'll be really good at wiping it all down and stuff. But then with time, do I not, you know what I mean? So I'm afraid like that is like right now, again, there's no cleanup. I have no work to do.
Right.
Okay. So let's try to focus in here.
Yes, I know. we do
Baby-led
this.
weaning. How do we do it? I'm not sure there's a clear-cut answer of how. My plan is to read through this list, see what I have to do, start with softer things. Oh, this is the other thing I was reading about. The development of your gums. So you were saying to stay away from purees. Is there a reason you stayed away from purees?
That was just, so I did do like a little bit of research, and that was one of the things that it said to, I mean, obviously like yogurts and applesauces we fed, that's fine.
Those
But
are normal foods.
but
adults eat.
in order for them to, that was the other thing, get like a gag reflex, like they're developing that.
Yeah.
So like it's okay. Like that scares a lot of people, like the gagging.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Gagging is not
Gagging is
choking.
not choking.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you have to know. Gagging is not choking, and it's normal for them to do that, and it's good because that means they're developing their gag reflex. Like their
Right.
gag reflex is working.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe that's something to do with the purees, so that
Because they just like almost drink it down, so they're
Right.
not developing that.
right. But
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't know for certain. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Again, we are
some of
not
the
experts on this at
Some
all.
of the things I read were just if you wanting to do baby-led weaning to avoid pureeing all the food.
So then why did you do baby-led weaning versus
I think it just felt natural to me.
It felt right,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think honestly, I didn't plan, like I didn't have a strict plan. Like I was like, this is what I'm going to do. It was just once it came time for my kids to start eating, that is what felt right to me, was to let them just eat foods and not
Right.
like, I never was one to create all my own baby food and stuff like that. And
Which that surprises me a little bit, just because that's something you love to bake. You love to
Yeah.
prepare things for your children.
yeah, and so I did a lot of that. So like one thing, actually, we can link this recipe at the bottom
Okay.
if you want. That I really loved were these things called ABC muffins.
Oh,
I made a
okay.
lot of things into muffins.
Okay.
Because it has like a soft texture. It's easier for them to hold. They're easy to like take on the go.
Yeah.
You can freeze them and bring them out. Like a lot of benefits to muffins. I'm
Muffins are very versatile.
Still a big muffin fan. So they're ABC muffins, and they're made with apple, banana, and carrot. And there's no sugar in them. They're made for
You still make these?
for kids. I make like different variations of these now.
Okay.
because I add a little bit more flavor now that my kids are older.
Yeah.
But we make a ton of muffins at home.
Yes, it's a muffin heavy household.
It is. It is. But yeah, these ABC muffins were great.
Yeah.
So I made stuff like that. Like I did still bake and stuff for them.
Yeah.
It was just I didn't like puree, I guess.
Yeah. So I guess my plan right now, like I said, to read through this document, skipping like the rice cereals, the pablums. Did you do that?
No, I did
Yeah.
oatmeal. Like I made my own
Okay.
oatmeal.
And like overnight oats and kind of
Yeah,
fed it to them?
I think Emerson or Nora, one of them did have like a baby cereal at one point because we were at someone's house. It might have been my mom's house or something, and they had bought that. And so I think I mixed it in with like some yogurt, and they had a little bit of that. But like
Right.
myself, it wasn't like something that I fed them
You were-
every day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got our high chair ready to go. I don't know, TBD on the how to keep things clean scenario, but
It's
I
you,
think
you don't is
we've
the answer
just
to that.
embrace the
Yeah.
dirt and the mess. And then I think we're just going to start with like you said, eggs, avocado.
Banana. Nora loved watermelon. Like I would cut the big long
Ooh.
watermelon, and she would just like chew on. I think it's because it's so juicy.
I craved watermelon in my pregnancy, and I just learned it's because it's rich in potassium.
Oh.
Which is like
I feel like that's a common craving for pregnant women.
yeah, and because pregnant women are typically dehydrated, and potassium and
Pregnant women are
electrolytes
typically
and quenching
deficient in pretty well everything.
everything. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, things like that. Sweet potato.
Yep.
Yeah. And then just kind of go from there. I think I'm really going to lean on this group. Like this group has a lot of great answers.
Yeah.
And maybe I can link it. I don't know if that's a thing because you know you have to request to join.
Right.
But we can link it nevertheless. And then just work our way through. Like there's a checklist of like 100 foods before one. They say to try to something like before 2 or before 3 is like what they say. Maybe it's even shorter than that, but you would need to expose them, like you were saying, to as many flavors as possible, so that later in their life they're going to like more things.
I really think I just let my kids guide me.
Yeah.
Like for
Did
the
you?
most part, I let them like decide, not really decide, I guess, but like I just kind of like let them take the lead. I'm like,
You
want
put it there.
Yeah, I put
let
it there.
them see how it
right.
goes. And I guess you're still breastfeeding. Like I'll still be feeding him, so it's not like he's going hungry.
Yes.
And then I am so curious as to how this is all going to pan out. Like fast forward to a few months from now, we've got it all figured out. But like I'm so curious what my life will look like 2 months from now. Like am I breastfeeding as much? Probably not.
I did drop down I can't, and like I said, I can't remember the exact
Yeah.
timeline, but at some point like I did drop down probably around 1 year old to like just morning and night feeds.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like that changes your life so much.
Yeah, I mean, it opens up the possibility for you to have a little bit more freedom for
totally.
sure.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, like now you have to think of like when I come here in the morning, like I have to ensure that I
You
have
food for your
I
child.
bring her a lunch pail packed. It's
You
not
are no
just-
longer her nourishment.
right,
Yeah.
which is much more time consuming. But but it's fine.
It's all part of it. I mean, she has to grow up.
Yeah,
At some
I mean,
point.
she's almost 3 now, so this has been my life for a while.
Yes.
But
Just look at the little feet.
I know the little feet peeking in the
So
frame there.
cute. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have much else to say on it yet. Like I feel like fast forward, like I said, 2-3 weeks once I've started, I'll be able to give like a better, synopsis of like here's what I decided baby-led weaning is for us. Because there'll be lots of different definitions people give.
Absolutely.
But you had your own experience with it. I'll have my own experience, and I'm sure there's many different versions in between. And
I know that there's some people very stressed about peanut butter. Are you one of those people?
I'm not. But you had said a story about.
So I've heard of some people they'll give their kids peanut butter in the hospital parking
Yeah.
lot. I was never worried about food allergies. I don't know if that's just because my husband and I both don't have food allergies,
Yeah.
and I know that doesn't mean that they couldn't, but I was never worried really about that.
No.
But I know some people do really stress about peanut butter. But
There's
I
some
was also
people in
told
my
that
life allergic to peanut butter, like not directly related to me, but that they're allergic to peanuts. So it is.
I don't know if
totally-
this is true or not, but I was told the earlier you give them peanut butter, the better it is for their exposure.
Okay, so we listened to my husband Erryn listened to a podcast about this, about like exposing through the skin. Have you heard about this for allergies? So apparently, people had always thought like you should stay away. You should give them things as early as possible. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, the idea is that like allergies are developed like through the skin.
Okay.
or something like this. So if you eat too much of something when you're pregnant, or if your baby is exposed to too much anyway, I don't know the whole story of it, but it's kind of like a backwards way of thinking. Maybe I should have known this whole fact before I started telling the story. But like, so for example, like Everest can't process his like dairy or eggs. That's what we've limited to. We've tried now. It's gone horribly.
Okay.
He cannot process
Okay, so
these
you
things.
have tried dairy and
We brought
eggs and
them
it
back.
didn't go well.
Miserable
So-
for 2-3 days.
So when you introduce eggs to him,
Oh yeah, good point. I
Yeah.
wonder how that'll go.
right? Like, will it be different because it's not coming
Right,
through
through
your
me.
body? Like,
I
will
hope
he be able
so.
to process it himself?
So we eat so many eggs. Like I've been struggling with my diet because we would eat 3 to 5 eggs every single morning forever. And so the thought is maybe he had too much of that come through, that he developed a bit of
which is what you're getting to here,
right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I see.
yeah. So that's the thought.
Allergies are very interesting. I have an abundance of allergies. No food
Yeah.
allergies myself.
Thank
but
goodness,
Yeah,
yeah.
but an abundance of other
Of-
allergies.
You're always, yes, you are very allergic to life.
Yes, I am. So
to seasons, to everything.
I would be curious to
Yeah, we'll have to
dive deeper into that.
yeah, to learn more about it. I don't really know much about it, but yeah, you're right. Maybe I should do more research about this egg thing, because we know he struggles with it. So we'll have to see how he handles it, digesting it himself.
Right. And I mean, it could be totally different because
Yeah.
maybe it's something to do with how your body processes it or
Totally.
whatnot.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. That's my plan. I'm sticking to it. We're gonna. we don't have a choice. We have to give him food at some point.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erryn, my
You have to
husband,
let us
said
know
like,
how it goes.
just keep breastfeeding forever. I'm like, well, the kid is hungry. You know what I mean? Like I would not be against it, breastfeeding, through 7-8 months, but he's hungry.
Yeah,
He needs more.
Yeah, and he's gonna become interested in food.
Totally.
And
He's
that's
already
the
taken
part
it out
where
of
I'm
my
saying
hand.
like they take the lead, kind of, right? Like
Maybe
they're
it'll
showing
be more
you
natural than I think.
They're showing
We'll
you
see.
they're interested in eating. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's all I got on this.
well, you have to keep us updated on how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll follow back up in a few weeks, and we'll see. Hopefully it's super successful. The only other thing I did want to say, sorry, is about the choking CPR. I do really want to take a class on that.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have to say, because I am a nurse, I had to stay updated on my CPR. I believe it's yearly. Could be every 2 years. Can't
Yeah.
remember. We do it at work.
Yeah.
I actually have one coming up shortly. Outside of that, any CPR classes that anyone knows about, specifically for infants,
Yeah, it would be great.
Send them this way.
Yeah. I would love to be the person that like someone chokes at a restaurant and I'm like, I got this.
This
But-
is on me. Have you ever seen those like suction things?
Yeah,
that
the life vac.
The life vac things. Yeah.
I honestly think I should just get one, just to have one.
It would just make you feel better.
But you're not always going to be with that. And so
No,
it'd
of
be nice to
course
know
not.
what to do, and CPR, and not even just for infants. Like I'd love to know if my husband was choking or something were to happen to anyone, or my children grow up, or you know what I mean? Like it'd be nice to just have general first aid knowledge. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. So yeah, if anyone knows any, reach out. I'd love, maybe we can have someone on.
Oh,
talk
there
about
we
it.
go. Talk about baby CPR.
Yeah.
So do you have any more like questions or any concerns about baby-led weaning that I can maybe help with? Like I said, I'm not a professional, but I have done it a couple times. So I don't know if
I guess the only thing I would say is like, so he's not had any other drinks. Like a lot of people transition to like water and rice cereal, but like when does that happen?
so. You actually don't, and I only know this because this isn't like really baby. This is to do with my lactation course that I had
right.
took. You do, if you're still giving your baby breast milk, you don't need to be giving them water because there is enough water in your there's enough in your breast milk.
Right.
However, once you start whittling down the amount that you're breastfeeding,
Right.
you will introduce like some water. Now, I know for me, like my kids now that they don't breastfeed anymore because they're 3 and 5, which I mean, you could still, but in my
you
life, I
don't.
decided not to, specifically because of work and stuff. It was easier. I started giving them milk. Obviously, you're not there yet. My kids, and some kids never have milk. My kids drink milk and water. I would not recommend giving your baby juice. It's
yeah.
very bad for their teeth, and also it's just
Right.
filled with sugar. But
yes,
but that's my own personal preference. My kids do get juice boxes like at parties and stuff like that, but like at home we typically just do milk and water. So like you're asking, so for Everest, because you're still breastfeeding, as long as you're still breastfeeding throughout the day, you don't really have to give him any water or anything. You can give him like a little cup. I think I gave you
Yeah,
a
we
little
have.
silver cup.
Yeah, we
So
did.
that was one of the first ones that I got. It was from I don't know if anyone's used Love Every.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we really love Love
it.
Every. I know you
Yeah.
love Every as well. It came in one of those little kits.
Okay.
So it's just to get them used to holding a cup handle and using an open cup. And I would put the littlest bit of water, and it will get everywhere.
Yes.
But it's not even for them to really drink. It's just to get them used to like the dexterity of holding a cup and stuff like
Right.
that. So I don't think they really need, until you aren't breastfeeding as often, they don't really need any extra fluids.
Yeah, I guess like when I think of, just say he's eating a few weeks down the road, a month down the road, I drop him off at grandma's, I go work out or whatever it is, and he has a snack.
Yeah.
What if he needs help washing it down?
I mean, yeah, you can always, it's not going to harm him to have water.
So if he,
Like if you feel
yeah.
comfortable leaving him with a sippy cup or whatever
whatever
of
it is,
water
yeah.
or water bottle, whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to hurt him to have
Right.
water. It's just he doesn't, if you're
Need
with
it.
him and
He
you're
is
breastfeeding
hydrated.
throughout the day, he doesn't
Yeah.
need it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. There's so much to think about.
I know there really is.
I think at
With
this point,
every
like
step
it just,
of parenting.
yeah, I feel like each phase you get to it, you're like inundated with like, I literally never had to think about this, and now I all of a sudden have to make these big decisions.
And I think one of the
what am I
hard
gonna
parts is there's
do?
information coming from everywhere.
Every angle.
And like I said, you're very research based, so you're
Yeah.
gonna get like 100, and some of it's opinion, right? Like
Totally.
like we're talking here. Most of it is like this is
What worked for
what
me.
worked for
Yeah.
me. This isn't like a fact.
Right.
This is just what my experience with it. And I think you just have to follow your gut, do what works for
Totally.
you and for Everest.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think you guys will do great.
And I think at this phase it's hard because I've not done it right. So my opinion is like pretty open ended. Like I have a journey, an idea of what I would like it to look like, but that'll look totally different
Right.
once I've started and actually had experience and that opinion starts to develop and what we like and don't like about it and
Right.
whatever. So yeah, we'll have to do an update.
Yes, we will. We'll do
Pod.
an update pod in a couple months.
Where we have a lot
see where
more to
you're at.
say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then before we sign off today, do you have any swaps?
Oh, I do. Oh, come back to me.
Okay,
I totally forgot.
I
what it
do
was
have
gonna
a swap.
Okay.
It's not something I've tried yet. It's something that I'm trying. Like
Okay.
I'm just beginning to try. Ever since I've been younger, I've been very, very like I have obsessive about washing my face. Like I
Yes.
have to wash my face. Even if I went out drinking with my friends that night and I was very tired, I would come home, I would wash my face before bed.
Yep.
So I'm always trying different like things that work for me. And now I'm trying to lean towards more natural products and stuff
Yep.
like that, especially. So there's a new company called Three Ships. I don't know if you've heard
Oh,
of it.
nope.
It's a Canadian company, and it's a very natural company. It's run by two women, which I love. We love a woman-owned business. And I'm just starting to try their stuff. So I
Okay.
will let you know how it goes. But I do have
Yeah.
a friend that's utilizing it, and she loves it. She actually recommended it to me.
Oh, fun.
So I'm gonna try that out. And they
That's
have
really
all
fun.
different products, right? Like they have like the face washes, the serums, the
hand
day, the night, the
creams.
cream, the lotions, the SPFs. Like they have it
Wow,
all.
a
So
full line.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try that out.
Oh, that's exciting. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
and
have
I'll
to
let you
update
know
us.
how it goes.
We'll have to drop a link too.
Yes, I will.
Pause. I have to think of what it is. I had one. What the heck is it? It's a weird one.
Food, cleaning product.
I'm not gonna be able to think of it.
What are you doing, honey? I'm almost done, okay?
What'd she say?
Just be nice to me.
Yeah, well, that's all she needs. Okay, well, let's just sign off. I can't think of it. You have to drop a link, and next episode
We'll do an
I'll share
update,
mine,
and I'll let you
yeah.
know how it goes. And then I just wanted to ask, do you have any plans for Valentine's Day? Because it's this Friday.
Well, yeah. By the time this comes out, it will have already
Mm-hmm.
passed. But no, my husband hasn't asked me to be his Valentine yet.
How incredibly rude.
It's so rude. It's like he assumes we just are Valentines. No,
You have to
I need
ask
a dramatic
me.
gesture.
Yes.
Like, drop to your knees and propose to be your Valentine.
That's so funny. That brought me back to high school because when we were in high school, I had dated the same guy, for 4 years, and prom came up and he just assumed we were going together. And I was like, absolutely not. You must ask me.
Yeah, and we were laying in bed the other night, and Erryn, my husband, had said something, about what we're doing this week. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't have a
I
Valentine
have no
yet.
plans.
I have no plans. No one has asked me. And he had the nerve to be like, well, no one has asked me either.
Oh.
And I go, oh, well, looks like we're both free. And then he goes, well, I go, not now, not like this, not like this. This is not
This is not
you're
a
out.
grand gesture.
No chance. So I don't know. We're obviously doing something. I think we might go to, there's a place in London, Ontario, called Uptown Wellness. I'll have to, again, link it. We got a lot of links this episode.
Yeah.
We've actually never been, but we met the
Is this a
owner.
restaurant?
No, it's like a wellness biohacking kind of spa type thing.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know if a spa is the right word. I'm not sure what to call it, but it's like a wellness thing.
Okay.
And they offer different treatments that
Okay.
are a little bit more unique, things I haven't really heard of too much, but we were on their website the other day, and like I said, Erryn had met the owner and they were talking about some of the different treatments, and we're like, gosh, this seems right down our alley. We got to come try it
Okay.
out. So we were thinking like we would never find time to do that normally. We're just so busy. So we maybe might take a pause in life, go to London, bring Everest, and do a little mini
Wow, that'd be
wellness
so
spa.
fun.
Yeah. How about you guys?
We do the same thing every year for Valentine's. Neither of us are big on we don't not like Valentine's. We just don't typically go out to do it up.
Yeah.
We order pizza from our local little pizza place that's
chain,
run by
yeah.
these two little this little Greek couple. They're the cutest. And we order pizza from there. And now our kids are here, so we just kind of hang out with them. I got them little gifts. We actually did. Emerson wrote her own little Valentines for her class this year, which was super cute. So we made little baggies for them.
I remember when Emerson was first born, you dropped off little Emerson
Valentine's, yeah. And now she writes her own name on them,
so
which is super
sweet.
cute, which is a big milestone. She writes her own now. So we're just going to do that. Although I will say we went out. I forgot to mention this when you asked about my weekend. We went out on a date on Friday night.
What?
Yeah.
Where? Why?
We went to dinner, and I'm going to probably ruin the name of what this is called, but I believe it's pronounced Idlewild Inn and Spa.
Oh, Idlewild, yeah.
It is the cutest place.
Yeah, so
it's like this
fun.
Victorian house.
Yep.
And it's adorable. And we had the best time. We
So fun.
ate dinner at 8:30 at night, which is so beyond my bedtime
Yeah.
because we kind of waited till later so the kids were going
So you
to bed.
obviously had someone to watch the girls at your house?
Yeah, no,
or-
I left them with my dog.
Oh,
Yes, my mom came and watched my girls.
Okay.
And we went on date night. So I told him, I was
Yay.
like, this could be our little Valentine's. And he was like, don't ruin Valentine's. We do low-key
Ooh.
Valentine's.
Yes, don't make it a
Don't
big
make it
deal.
a thing. He's like, this is a separate date. And I'm like, okay.
But that's building on what we talked about last time of
Yes,
carving
making
out
time for
space and making
yourselves.
time. Oh, that's so
Yes,
good.
so we did that. And
Yay.
I know, go me. And I did initiate it. I said, you know what? We need a date night. And he was like, I'm in. So
I love it.
Yeah. And likely we won't go for another date night till our 6th
Ever.
wedding anniversary in May. But
I thought you were going to say
we got
until our
one
daughter's
done.
6 or something.
No. We usually go out for our wedding anniversary.
Oh,
So we'll
that's
do
nice.
that in May. But it was great. It was a great time. So
Oh, good.
that's all for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so this is a great chat talking about baby-led weaning, and we'll post a bunch of the links we talked about here in the description below.
Brie will do a nice update in a couple months
Yeah.
of how Everest is doing and
Yeah.
what feedback you have.
Totally. Yeah. Maybe I'll just scrap it all together. Who knows?
Right? Okay.
Breastfeeding for life.
All right. Well, all right. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.